UNIDO is leading the ATCMA COMESA program that is part of this Pan-African program funded by the EU. And in COMESA, we are aiming to boost and strengthen intra-Africa trade, but also EU-Africa trade. And the role of UNIDO will be to support harmonization at the regional level in terms of quality infrastructure to create this enabling environment for the private sector to be able to comply with standards and technical regulations. And for this, we will support also the quality service providers in terms of testing, and so that the private sector can have these services available, and then we can facilitate trade around that.
This program is a continental one that is responding to the vision of both the European Union, but also African Union and its partners and the regional economic communities. So this program falls into 5 different regional economic communities from EAC to SADC, ECAS and COMESA, and we are here together with COMESA, with the COMESA Secretariat, the EU COMESA Business Council, together with UNIDO, who is the lead for the COMESA component, to conduct some stakeholders engagement, aligned on the objectives of the mission and how we could collaborate further in towards achieving the result of the program. When it comes to the private sector, it's important to know that ITC is the UN organization focused on private sector development, export development, and trade boosting. And with COMESA, who has been a long-lasting partner of us, we will be working at various levels, at the policy level, to start with, to make sure that all the market barriers are identified, prioritized, and addressed together with the Secretariat, and also all business support organizations and value chain sectoral associations. But also we will be working at the meso and micro level with MSMEs. You would note that MSMEs in the region are the first jobs provider, and as such we will be building the capacity not only to develop as business, but also to export within COMESA to boost the intra-regional trade, but also at the continental level to boost the AFCFTA, to advance the AFCFTA, but also to develop EU-COMESA trade.
Under ATCMA COMESA, our focus is to strengthen the conditions for a private sector-led growth, particularly for MSMEs, by improving competitiveness, market access, and enabling environment for integration into regional and international value chains. We will support enterprises in selected value chains to upgrade productivity, quality, and compliance, so MSMEs can meet buyer requirements, connect to higher value markets, and overall become more resilient and sustainable. In parallel, we will also reinforce the institutional ecosystem that businesses rely on to make trade more efficient, predictable, and transparent. We'll also strengthen clusters and centers of excellence, and at the meso level promote innovative financing and investment solutions that can accelerate upgrading, which is also essential for the region. And for the COMESA Business Council, the program, I believe, will be instrumental in further strengthening its role as the region's private sector voice and convening platform. And our partnership with CBC will be also key for us to reach MSMEs effectively and ensure that our support, that our interventions are responsive to their needs and realities. And overall, this work will help reduce barriers for MSMEs, increase confidence among buyers and investors, and contribute to more inclusive and resilient growth across the COMESA region. So we look forward to embarking on this journey with the COMESA Secretariat, the COMESA Business Council, and other COMESA institutions to deliver tangible impact on the ground.
The ATCMA COMESA starts from a very practical question. Which regional value chains can generate sales, profits, and jobs for COMESA SMEs, and what must change for trade to actually flow and make regional integration work for the people? The challenge in the region, you'll see, is not the absence of resources or entrepreneurs. It is that SMEs operate in value chains that are often poorly structured, exposed to hidden trade barriers and disconnected from markets. This is why ATCMA COMESA, at least at ITC level, we put strong emphasis on value chain selection and upgrading. Using ITC's methodology, we identify the right value chains, meaning those with regional demand, export potential, and the capacity to absorb SMEs at scale. We then analyze where trade is blocked within those chains, regulatory bottlenecks, logistics constraints, certification gaps, weak buyer linkages or lack of market intelligence, etc. And that is where technical assistance, matters equally to investment alone. The binding constraints are not raw materials per se. They are unresolved trade barriers within specific value chains, weak regional coordination along corridors, firm or SME level capability gaps that limit productivity and competitiveness, and also under-resourced business support organizations that cannot effectively serve SMEs. And through ATCMA COMESA International Trade Center, ITC works directly with SMEs to increase profitability, business development, and ultimately market access. Through supporting SMEs to meet buyer requirements, connect to regional, continental, and EU markets, and translate opportunities into actual sales. And at the same time, ITC strengthens business support organizations and work with COMESA institutions to ensure that constraints identified by businesses are addressed at the regional level, thereby creating an enabling environment that responds to real market demand. And with the COMESA Business Council as a key partner, ATCMA COMESA ensures that private sector priorities drive both reforms and investment.